I got
There
it.
he goes.
See, Ben, you started to get up, but then there it is. It says record.
It should be working.
Should I do it? I'm just kidding.
Every other house on
Did you get
so we want to remove it.
No.
Back this way towards Hobbs, which is usually everything else available service.
Look at mine. I have a huge blister on the bottom of my foot from running.
But you just build back the hub to service.
I got a, one of those that it'll heal, and it stays on for 3 days or whatever, and oh, it hurts. It's very
Learn
tender.
your lesson and not run.
12 and 15.
Trying to stay healthy in a blister, it's ridiculous. You know?
Yes.
Same ditch.
I was like,
No.
I had to run. I've been
Within the same
running,
meeting.
and I've been blistered.
Won't be the same
and I
ditch,
could
but
get
they'll
it
be
to
close.
heal, and I had to get one of those patches. I was like, you try to stay healthy, and then you tear it. It's ridiculous.
And this is the harder of the routes, but it avoids the spring, which is historical, which would have been all kinds of problems trying to go that route. So we just avoided it.
You're pumping this way, you're gonna pump back here and then come out.
Mhm. And the station now is demolished with us now putting on local, govdeals.com, selling the equipment, everything that can be salvaged out of it, and then doing the tie-in to Southern Force Main and bringing it up. Now, the one thing with who's in the room now, what we're doing at this station, it's going to be, as far as its motor and as far as the pump housing itself, is going to be rated for 1,200 gallons a minute. The impeller is going to start off being trimmed at 900. Like the master plan says, we want to adapt to development. If we're 1,200 gallons a minute here, the hospital will never develop. They've never paid their commitment. The reason being, what they would have to do is upgrade the 12-inch line from that point all the way to the back. So we're leaving it at 9, and then whoever comes in and pays their commitments, we will adapt and change to whoever's wanting to develop first.
What about if somebody's already paid their commitments?
Then it's accounted for. Actually, this system right here is sized for everything that's committed. And actually, I think he has almost 200 lots committed to it. If you take Morgan Trace, Bridle Creek, and the 102 lots in Copes.
How's it gonna get from the existing point here to
Gravity.
here,
All gravity.
Gravity.
and then it's getting from there back?
Pumping right back.
How's this gonna get from here over there?
I did this map so I could do the orthos on it, and I don't have a plotter, that's why it's kind of jigsawed together. But what I did not draw on it, there's going to be a stub in with a manhole at this location to come over to where basically that's what the services for Brookhaven and Copes will hit.
Has Brookhaven paid any commitment fees?
No.
Actually, at this point, Bill, we've got a stub at that manhole where it turns right at the creek,
No.
but just a stub.
It will go, that's one of the things I want to talk to you on.
You want me
whenever we
to
get
come
ready.
back onto the highway? Okay.
So
We don't have to come under the highway again?
no, while we're doing this one project, I want to stub and ready to go. Main reason being, and I've even thought about it, we haven't talked about it, but the original, but if you look at the original of it, what I was wanting to talk to you about on the plans is not only the stub out here, but we need to take a look at his design and go ahead and run and move a stub out here that will actually be able to pick. The whole intent here is to eventually, the only way we can afford it is to turn this to low pressure, try to use what's existing in it. The cost that we'd have at each home. All right? So I wanted to take a look at this project, if possible, when we would stub out, to get one extension made to be sitting there for whenever we come in the future and not have to put it in. And if you take a look at the cost estimates we've got, you'll still stay under the meeting.
Well, I think the biggest piece is you just coming back under there and getting that first manhole, and whether that first manhole, that line then runs back onto your development here, or comes back up the road here, then you obviously, you're not across the creek, you'd have the option to connect into that manhole road there.
But the stub out, we know we eventually have to get everything inside of Hobbs converted, or we can't service the town. We know in
That
2012
Hobbs is
is going
gonna
to be
be
the first project we're going to do. I know that without being told.
Full attendance here, taking.
It's actually more than I was expecting.
All right, I have to get my paper.
One more.
One more.
Yeah, well,
Two.
I thought
Exactly, I think so.
it was
Got the email this afternoon.
Well, it's a reminder.
From him.
It's a good thing.
I think I was talking to Christine, and we had a meeting. I was like, you know what? I was like, I bet they forgot that the public hearing is tonight. Will you send out something and remind them? So that was a good thing. Which it's not a meeting, you know. We don't get many people at these things, do we?
Nope, and then they bitch.
We're on tape.
Okay.
But they do.
But they do, they, because nobody told them anything.
Well, the project, what a lot of, even the Stinsons, everyone I talked to, this is not about the Brinkleys or Goodall. This was something Angie will remember. I'd been here 3 months, and she was trying to cool my heels. I was ready to do it then until we got through with the master plan, because this is what needed to be fixed first. And about 3 months in, I think we're sitting. Yeah. But this is all about fixing our existing
I'm a
service.
grandma.
What do you mean you don't remember?
No, I said I should have been a grammar teacher. No, I remember.
What did I tell you, Jennifer? What did I tell you? We never get together, but she'll bust my chops at least 3 times. That's 1. 2 more to come before we leave.
As long as you don't talk about my maps, I'm good. That's as long as you don't talk about my maps, I'm good.
Your maps.
I pieced them together like a puzzle.
Oh,
We don't really have a formal agenda, I guess, other than the items that are listed on the sheet there, talking about the proposed project schedule and the reasons for the project. And so if you have any questions that are outside of that, please feel free, and we'll,
Well, I'm sure Ms. Blankley has some questions.
So you're not looking to start until spring?
well, because the way we're funding it through the state, they've got a number of approval processes that they're gonna end up going through. We've submitted plans already for their approval. I suspect that it'll advertise November, early December, but by the time ultimately they get through all their approval processes and we get a contractor started, it'll, spring, I think February. But
And
February,
that's the
March is
engineer's
probably when we
thing.
get a contractor out on site to start moving dirt and putting pipe in the ground.
And that's the engineering, because like I've told him, while they're submitted, if we're not ready to advertise this for bid October 1st, it's going to be because the state held it up. I'm hoping to have it awarded before November.
Well, awarded on our end, but then dealing with the state and their paperwork as to when we can actually get a contractor started, because they're paying
First,
a portion
right
of
around
it.
the corner.
Next week?
that means that the bid that we would be advertising for bids and allow, because the bid documents are ready, unless the state requires us to change anything through their approval
They're not
process.
going to, they're not even gonna look at them.
Well, not technically related to sewer, but administratively, I mean, of course, you know, the great thing about this job, let's see. That's administrative, that's the technical portion of the job. It's a straightforward technical job, but because of the funding,
Because it's stimulus funding.
there's 40 pages of certifications in here that between the contractor and the owner, we need to fill out related to the ultimate selection of the contractor. Administratively, it's a headache. It really won't add a lot of cost. I know I've heard a lot of speculation of adding a lot of additional overhead on the contractor on our part. It's just a little bit extra paperwork on the front end.
Contractor have to do certified payroll.
Yep.
Well, I'm doing a bunch of this stuff now with this Obama money.
Oh, yeah.
We've done certified payrolls on community block development grants and other state projects, EPA projects over the years anyway. And so most of, at least
All
on the utility,
CDBG, because that's federal money too. It's all required through that.
most of our utility
Yeah.
contractors are used to dealing with
Yeah.
some form of these hoops, maybe not all of them together on the same project, but most of it's not a surprise to folks. It's just having to do them all on the same project's a little bit different.
We
But
just don't do a lot of CDBG monies here in White House because the income level is too high. You can't get CDBG funds unless you get, mostly now, it won't be awarded till there's probably at least 70% of your project would be low income now.
We
Usually
can't,
won't.
Low income cutoff's about $24,000 a
we
household.
can't even give away $380,000 to fix up houses.
I'm just saying that the income level. There's not enough low income housing areas to get that type of grant.
Because we got people like him skewing it, all that money.
What are you scowling about?
I have no idea.
See, because he's worth 50 million makes it look like I'm worth 25.
No, but they look at individual homeowners, not just median income overall. But we don't have enough in a certain area, a targeted area, to reach for sewer or water or anything like that. You have to have that target area that you're gonna hit. And like 70% of the individual homeowners have to be $24,000 or less. It's not, it won't work. It's just nature of the area.
Fine service there.
You get to sit in the chair you like, huh?
What's that?
You get to sit in the chair you like.
Oh yeah, comfortable chair.
Okay, can I ask a question or two?
Yeah,
Is there gonna be any capacity in this line immediately to develop some of this down here?
Will there be the capacity? Yes, first come, first served. Right now, the limitations over at Tyree are more to do with Tyree Station than it is the size. See, Jones Branch is oversized to hold down the head, the total head pumps pump against. Our hydromatics are on that line directly, so it's oversized really for what flows on it. That's one of the things we discovered when we were going through the
It's
master plan.
oversized already.
Correct, because it's done so to handle hydromatics capabilities and not an E1.
And Jim, yeah, there is additional capacity in the gravity line coming down the hill.
This one right here. Going back to the plant.
You have a force main
that's the
coming
force
back?
main, but right here, the force main, the Jones Branch force main, that's actually this brown line here, is actually sized at 10 inches and comes up to a 12. It was sized as such for the hydromatics to be able to achieve flow. Once you hit the 15-inch, what's going to break to gravity, there's more than enough capacity. Actually, the restriction will be the lift station, what it will do, and not what the gravity repair.
Okay. At some future time, you're gonna move these houses from where they're at on this line.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right now, our projection was 152 homes.
102 in that area, where on
It's 102 Dawn Court and Meadows.
Spicer and there's at least one more, but 102 in that area off to the south, on the
Yeah.
southeast.
South of Meadows Road.
South of Meadows and heading up the hill. And then obviously turning and going up towards Hobbs, there's another sizable chunk
That was
up that way.
There's 152 homes, I
Yeah.
believe, on that
It's
stretch.
in the master plan.
Okay, next question. Will it service?
You know how to read.
When will this tie-in be made? Anticipated?
Soonest 2012.
Okay. Will there be any more capacity in that line that runs down Meadows Road if there's a tract of land in the woods over there close to the ballpark?
Just a hypothetical tract of land.
No,
Next
I know exactly.
It's there.
I know which one you're talking about.
It's easy to find, dude, because there ain't but one.
To answer your question, it's yes, because the minimum that we can put in gravity, and that's all that will be serviced. We're taking advantage of the gravity.
Will there have to be a big off-sites done to make that tract work?
Well, to answer your question, the city will not bring it to that piece of property.
Okay.
We will stop it where we need to be to convert what we have. So the cost will be getting to the last manhole. The only thing we do the last manhole, because we know we want it to extend, will be installed with the stub.
And that'll be over there at Spicer Court or the last street going south off of Meadows Road.
Actually, it will end at, if you're turning down that one, the line runs behind the homes.
Behind the homes? Oh, it'll adjoin that property then.
So half of them, I'm talking about on this side of it, on behind the homes, opposite the ones that are backing up to the property.
So you'll be
Farther away than you
a
thought.
house, a street, and a house in the backyard.
Okay,
So one
I'll
side,
be two houses in the street.
one side of that is carried by low pressure coming to a buffer tank. The other side of it, the vacuum runs behind it.
And tell him again what the kick will be. First come, first served.
Well, I keep saying that
He
one
knows
because
that by now, don't you?
Okay, well I do, but now let me ask you another question. Are we to our limits on what we can do for
Top two.
high density as far as condos or apartments or something with the 15% maximum we put on that? So we've got people, huh?
Yeah.
So we can still do that.
It's usually what they do.
Just didn't know the folks over there.
That's why I wanted to know, because we gotta have that official school.
And that behind Covington Heights would be serviced by this also.
It should be easy
Yes.
once they get through their stuff.
it would actually be the easiest thing
To
to
service. Because it could be serviced pretty much right as soon as this is done.
Correct. It's like what I was saying, I don't know if you'd got here at the time or not, I was telling Mike. The station is actually, as far as the pump housing and the motor, all of it's being designed to go to 1,200 gallons a minute.
Mhm.
So that cost won't be there.
So if you're setting it up for 900, does that mean you have to change the impeller?
Well, the developer that pushes it to 1,200 will. That would be his cost.
Just the
But
impeller?
basically, it's just pulling the pump, changing impellers, and dropping it right back in.
What
Actually,
kind
that
of
can be done
cost
in
is
the
that?
field. Impellers run about $1,200 a piece.
How many you got in
There's one on each pump, so it's redundant. You have to,
there? Two pumps. So $2,400.
approximately. So, and that right there, that's us following the master plan, that the development that wants the capacity first, we adapt to accommodate it. And the later you come in, it's kind of motivation, the faster you come in, the less expensive it is. Because just like Sumner Regional in that development that they were doing, Angie knows I proactively had a meeting with them one last time, that if you don't pay the commitment fees, we're only committed for 3 lots. And you'll be required to do the entire expense of that development for 3 lots. And you will keep a performance bond with me until such time. All right? They walked away and didn't pay them. So now whenever the station goes in, if it goes to 1,200 gallons a minute, then capacity is gone for them.
They
If
got
they
a
wanted to
new
do-
lift station.
You know,
force
they'll
main over
have
the
to, the
plant.
force main
Force
from
main,
that
yeah.
location all the way to the plant would have to be increased in
Because
size.
there won't be any more capacity left in the southern force main.
Right.
At 1,200 gallons a minute, it now has the southern force main full.
So that takes in all this back in here too then. With Coach Crossing, how much of that will that take? Of that 1,200 gallons a minute or 900 gallons or whatever?
The 900 has Cope's allotment in it because you've paid your commitment fees.
Well, actually, that is committed to with, 348 gallons a minute still left at 900 gallons a minute. Was it 248 or 348?
Got a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I know, and was just calculating this before we came.
I know. We've talked a lot of numbers since then.
I'm pretty sure it was 350
Yeah, I
gallons
think it's
a minute.
348, but
Is that taking into consideration Goodall's development coming in here?
That's both of them. But both of them are considered, only one's committed to it. But we've considered everyone that talks to us. I mean, all it's been from some of the regionals talk. So we've considered it all and tried to factor, if they come and say, yeah, we want to go, that we're ready to go whatever direction development wants to drive it, and trying to do it the best we can. So we're trying to stay as adaptable as possible.
Okay, but with the restrictions that the planning commission has basically put over their sales about not rezoning a bunch of property high density. Am I?
Not high density
Apartment.
apartments. Not high density apartments. They have not restricted themselves on PUD approvals. They've restricted themselves
We've not
on
re-
rental
We've
housing.
not restricted townhomes, just apartments.
Yes.
Or condos?
No.
Restricted
No,
condos?
No.
just
Okay.
apartments.
Has anybody from White House been to Goodlettsville down there off a Long Hollow Pike and looked at the backside of 12 Stones?
You
where
talking
they
about
put
back
those-
there where I get my
Good all.
painkillers from my
And all the
doctor?
ones beside it.
Sorry.
Well, see, now those, the majority of those don't hang, all of them either have courtyards or front entrances. And after talking to those people down there, that's They don't want side entrances, and they wanted either front entrances or courtyards.
But that's not an issue, that PUD regulations have changed.
You can have can you have 50% front entrances?
I mean,
Because that's what they're doing down
We
there.
didn't restrict it.
we didn't restrict it.
So you can have front entrances.
Where'd you
Jimmy,
been?
where are you?
I missed a few
He
meetings.
missed a few.
Jimmy,
Sarah.
we've changed our PUD regs. You need to get those from
Masonry
Adam and talk
requirements
to them.
changed, the front entries changed.
So we can do front entrances.
The only thing that's restricted on percentage is apartment complexes.
That's it.
That's the only thing that's restricted on a percentage amount. That's it. Not condos, not townhomes.
The hard
Any
part-
ownership is
The hard
there.
part though is convincing the planning commission that a townhome is not an apartment.
That ain't my bag. But it's just, that is what the percentages apply to, are the apartment or the rental places. Such as duplexes, that would be considered as well as the
Well,
percentage.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. I've got the backside of Covington Heights over there, that I've got some people that want some $300,000 and $400,000 condos.
Then
they
you're
want-
okay.
Huh?
You're okay.
Well-
You need, the materials change as far as the percentage needed to be used for materials, as far as masonry, and the front orientation has changed, the density has changed to where you can increase the density on our PUD regs. You need to go by Adams tomorrow, get those and talk to him about it.
I will.
Okay.
I want to.
But if he's doing townhomes or condos, do they don't have to fall under commercial design standards?
It's all right. They're gonna be all brick or stone or something.
Okay.
Pretty sure they do.
And the market's got to turn around.
No, that's
somewhat to
apartment
make it work.
complexes have to fall under commercial design standards.
I think
I
townhouse.
think townhomes do
Do
too.
they? Did we include those?
Well, that's just brick or stone right there.
I'd have to go back and read it. Well, you know, we just, yeah, okay.
Party board.
I missed the last plan commission meeting too.
Yeah. That's when we talked
Party
about it.
boards,
Yes.
lands, it's
Well,
just-
Because Solicitor Farms came back and there was discussion
Yes.
about the townhomes now and said they wouldn't matter because they'd fall under commercial design standards.
Gotcha.
That's your recollection too.
You're just all excited. You're beside yourself now.
And since the planning commission changed, I lost the vote. When the planning commission changed a few months ago, I lost a vote, a possible vote.
But that stuff changed before planning commission changed. Those PUD regs changed.
They've changed since Amanda's been on planning. She was here.
And we didn't meet with, it was the board of mayor and aldermen that initiated it, not the
True.
planning commission.
True.
Had nothing to do with the planning commission.
Right, we did it.
So that didn't matter.
He was actually referring to the fact that Amanda can't vote.
Right.
Yeah,
On anything I do, that's what I was referring to.
But I'm just saying
But-
that, but that wasn't even initiated by the planning
Yeah.
commission.
We initiated it, then took it to the planning commission.
Well, it was backwards a little bit.
Yeah, it
That's
really
the way it
was.
worked.
That's the way it's supposed to work.
Well, Cliff, do you have any questions, or?
I just came to see what was happening. Where's the station actually gonna be at? I hadn't seen a stake, where you put a stake in the ground yet.
Well, come on up here.
Just so somebody can ask me,
Yeah. With the orthos, you should be able to
because the only
tell.
question I got, like Jim, is how much more flow are we gonna have without the numbers? Just,
Well,
we got plenty. That's
Right,
all.
right here is the bridge that goes across on the greenway.
Yep.
The rest of it's covered with trees.
Yep.
The station is going to be sitting right at this location. Where Tyree Springs sits now, it will be demolished with a manhole put in its place
Thank God.
that will break it to gravity
It's just
and flow it to the station.
got an eye.
Then the station will in turn bring it up,
Can we
which
sell
now
it?
allows everything to this hub in this area
I don't
to
think we
develop
want to.
by gravity.
Phone company maybe. but
Which is
I
now
don't
the
know,
right
there's
way,
not
we're doing gravity, but not adding the lift
Of
station.
course, we're still gonna have pipe
Parcels,
underneath it, that's the.
Which is just doing low pressure a different way.
I was over there when they put the sewer treatment in for this high school.
Mhm.
It had its own little.
I'm so glad that the high school's the most important
Kenny
thing,
Copeland
is that
fit.
you get that off the.
I don't know, Danny.
Well, it's inexpensive. It's just two connections. They got two buffer tanks, and it's taken off the equivalency of over 90 homes.
But I mean, that's the most important thing, I think, that you get that high school off the vacuum.
Well, on an average day, its flow's not all that bad, but because it all comes within an 8-hour, I mean, even a 6-hour span, the overall flow is rather significant. Of course, Fortunately, it comes in the middle of the day when homes aren't
Well,
using it,
like
but it's,
For the basketball game at night.
oh, yeah.
We're in bad shape.
Where the Greenway crosses the creek over there by the football stuff. All that back up on the south side of the creek is mine.
Is this like a, from beginning to
Yeah, I
end,
got
is there
about
a
10 or 12
space of
acres
time
over
this
there.
public
That
hearing
I've
is
saved
initiated, or is it
for
just a start?
15.
It's just the start time.
Just start time and cover a handful of things that we need to talk about.
I was just wondering if we had a
I
from
think
6
that's
to
a
7
really
or
good idea,
from,
but we need
you
to
know
get
what
rid
I'm
of
asking?
She's saying from 11 to 6:30.
Well,
I think it's better not to put a time on it. That
I'm
way-
just asking.
That's what you're thinking.
You start out in residential.
I mean, as far as we're at now, if no one has any more questions.
The email I got said 6 to
Well, we're
7.
gonna have some people that,
Did you swear
but
that?
that's ideal.
What was
For some
advertised?
people that
Well,
I.
Mike, you're welcome to stay at 7.
What's advertised says what's to be
I don't see
back.
any.
I mean, you're just
They're over
going
there
here
close to the
saying
practice
stuff all
ball
over.
field,
and
baseball park and all that.
Greenway, everything for it.
Well, if there's no more questions, let's cut the camera off. I guess that's bring the meeting to an end. I don't see no reason to just stand here.
When I cut the camera off, you're not gonna do anything crazy. Just kidding.
Not any crazier than normal, how's that?
Not so good. Let me see.